Hey people, it's Niles talking. So this is from The Guardian. Vaccine-derived polio virus spreads in Africa after defeat of wild virus. Fresh cases of disease linked to oral vaccine seen in Sudan following the outbreak in Chad. A new outbreak in Sudan has been linked to the oral polio vaccine that uses a weakened form of the virus. News of the outbreak comes a week after the World Health Organization, WHO, announced that wild polio had been eradicated in Africa. The WHO linked the cases to a strain of the virus that had been noted circulating in Chad last year and warned the risk of spread to other parts of the Horn of Africa was high. In a statement of the new cases, the WHO said the two children in Sudan, one from South Darfur State and the other from Gadaref State close to the border with Ethiopia and Eritrea, were paralyzed in March and April. Both had been recently vaccinated against polio. The WHO said initial outbreak investigation showed the cases were linked to a continuing vaccine-derived outbreak in Chad that was first detected last year and is now spreading in Chad and Cameroon. While so-called vaccine-derived polio is a known risk, the emergence of the... I want you to listen to what he just said. So-called vaccine-derived polio is known risk. So they admitted you getting polio off the vaccine is something that is very real. But they told you that you're crazy for thinking that these vaccines are dangerous. The emergence of these cases so soon after the announced eradication of wild polio in Africa is a setback. Or maybe that was part of the plan all along. At issue is the fact that the oral polio vaccine, preferred in some places because of its ease of delivery and the lack of need for sterile syringes, uses an attenuated or weakened version of polio. So they're delivering it because they can use dirty syringes. I'm not surprised. When a child receives the oral vaccine, the weakened virus replicates in the intestine, encouraging the production of antibodies and can be present in excreta. In an area where there are high enough levels of immunity in the population, this usually does not present a problem, even if sanitation is poor. But in areas where there is poor sanitation and lack of general immunization, the virus can survive and circulate for months, mutating over time until it poses the same risk of paralysis-causing disease as wild polio. So, are they really admitting that it's not really the vaccines that stop people getting sick, it's just having good sanitation, being clean? Like, being able to get rid of waste and keep it far away? And so should we invest more in a sewage system that can flush it away, toilets and stuff like that? Maybe water purifiers. I don't know, I'm just crazy, I'm just a guy with common sense. Use of the oral polio vaccine was discontinued in the UK in 2004 and the US in 2000, and the UN agency advised the use of the oral vaccine should be discontinued after polio is judged to be eradicated because of the risk of vaccine-derived outbreaks. Genetic sequencing of the virus involved in Sudan cases confirmed that they were linked to the outbreak in Chad. The WHO warned on Monday that the risk of further spread of vaccine-derived polio across Central Africa and the Horn of Africa was high, noting large-scale population movements in the region. Amid the coronavirus pandemic, many major vaccination campaigns needed to stamp out polio have been disrupted across Africa and elsewhere, leaving millions of children vulnerable to infection. Again, you're trying to cover it up. This not being vaccinated is not the problem that's caused this outbreak. It's the vaccine that caused the outbreak. In April, the WHO and its partners reluctantly recommended a temporary halt to mass polio immunization campaigns, recognizing the move could lead to a resurgence of the disease. In May, they reported that 46 campaigns to vaccinate children against polio have been suspended in 38 countries, mostly in Africa, because of the coronavirus pandemic. Some of the campaigns have recently been restarted, but health workers needed to vaccinate more than 90% of children in the effort to eradicate the paralytic disease. Health officials had initially aimed to wipe out polio by 2000, a deadline repeatedly pushed back and missed. While polio remains endemic in Afghanistan and Pakistan, both countries are also struggling to get outbreaks of vaccine-derived polio. Again, in the countries where polio is still wild, I think the only two in the world really, they're also struggling with vaccine polio. But anyway, please comment. Oh yeah, I want to tell you something. If you look at the article itself, I can read it here. The article is on the global development, and global development is sponsored by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's right in your face. They don't hide any of this. Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'm going to leave this article in the description. If you like to support the channel, leave my GoFundMe there as well. If you like to follow me on Instagram, I'll leave that there as well. Peace.